have some pretty good luck. I have a few rules though. Please stay seated the entire safari. That includes any kids. Hold them on your lap or on the seat next to you, but they must remain there. No passing anyone around or holding anyone up, baby Simba style. Keep your hands, arms, feet, legs inside of the vehicle. And remember that these are real wild animals. So please don't call out to them or make any loud noises at them. Now we're just waiting for the final all clear from the warden. Once we get it, we will be starting off our adventure in the little...
I have one of those like drawing cameras.
Over to the right on the hill there is a copy,
so.
which has white stripes on its legs, kind of like zebra stripes. But they're actually the only known relative to the giraffe. They were believed to be mythical creatures until 1901. Some people just thought that they were way too good to be true, but they are true. I think they're pretty great. And they have an old nickname of the African unicorn. You might get a glimpse of a couple big black and white birds on the hill to the right. Those are saddle-billed storks. They stand about 5 feet tall and have a 9-foot wingspan. They are crouched down right. All the way to the left, there is a black rhinoceros. They get about 3,000 pounds, which is actually pretty small for a rhino. And they're born almost blind, notorious for crashing into things, which is why a group of rhinos is. Although most rhinos are very solitary, the black rhinos as well, they don't usually like to hang out with other rhinos. Social though. There's a couple different types of antelope up ahead on the left-hand side. I mostly see the bongos from here, which are a beautiful reddish-colored antelope. There is a second black rhino against this rock wall on the left. He's covered in mud, so he's blending in very well. Looks kind of like a rock. So bongos have the beautiful reddish-orange coloring. It's a grease that covers the coat, so it's been considered taboo to poach them in the past because you could literally get caught red-handed. The tan-colored antelope are greater kudu. They are known for their large corkscrew-shaped horns on their heads, but only the males have them. The females do not. So we're going to exit the forest, and next up we are going to head down to the Safi River, which is home to some of Africa's more aquatic animals. You'll probably want to keep an eye out into the water. So we usually have a little better luck at the other side, but actually we have a couple of hippos on the land. Now they usually spend most of their time in the water, but they'll come out on a cool day to relax or if they need to find food. But they don't know how to swim. They are far too dense, so they sink to the bottom and they tiptoe along the bottom of the water. They get about 5,500 pounds on average, yet they can outrun us on land at 35 miles per hour. And they are one of Africa's most dangerous animals. They don't even eat meat. They're herbivores. They eat plants, but they are very territorial. There's more to the left. And on the island, the big whitish green birds are pink-backed pelicans. During mating season, the skin on their backs will turn pink, which can help them to attract a mate. They also collect sticks to present to each other to show off their nest-building skills. It's a lot like showing that they can build a home for each other, which I think is very romantic. Underneath this bridge there are some Nile crocodiles, so remember to stay fully seated, especially here. They get about 16 to 20 feet long, which is about as long as a giraffe is tall, and they can jump their body length outside of the water. They have a bite force of about 2,000 pounds per square inch, crushing bones. And you really won't see them moving around a whole lot. They spend a lot of their time conserving energy in between their meals. So they are very still, but they have very good reflexes. Now let's head towards the Savannah. That's where we will be spending the most of our time. It has vast open grasslands, and it's a really great place to find some more animals. Around this corner to the right, there's a baobab tree. It's the one that looks like it's been planted upside down. So it's called the upside down tree. And it's also known as the tree of life for its ability to hold thousands of gallons of rainwater in its trunk to survive through the dry season. Anything with horns or tusks can very easily break it open, drain the water out and get a drink. Personally, this is my favorite view of the savannah. You can see a few different animals up ahead. We're going to try to get a lot closer to them. There are some zebras over here on our right, Hartman Mountain zebras. The most docile and non-territorial of all the zebras, like to live more of a survival of the fittest type lifestyle by hanging out with wildebeest. But unfortunately, zebras don't really make great friends because if a predator shows up, they will knock the wildebeest unconscious by kicking them in the head and running away. Zebras are a lot better at surviving than making friends. Here are some Ankulai cattle to the right with large horns. They can get around 6 feet long. They hold blood vessels on the inside to help circulate blood throughout their bodies, keeping them cool. Basically their own personal AC unit attached to their heads. And there's a giraffe over to the right. There's actually a couple of them, but they're going to be a little closer to the other side of the road over there. But Maasai giraffe, they get around 20 feet tall. They're born at about 6 feet tall after a 15-month pregnancy. They tower over everything, so a group is a tower. There is a den here on our left, and sometimes some animals like to hang out around it, especially predators. So we're going to get a little closer to it, sometimes behind it. Actually, there are some African wild dogs behind it, also known as a painted dogs. They have beautiful markings, as unique to them as our fingerprints are to us. They are not like your pups at home, though. They are the most successful hunters on the savannah. They hunt in packs, and they will chase their prey to the point that it drops of exhaustion, so they're very dangerous. I still think that they're really cute. Over to our left, there's a couple of sable antelope. Very territorial, more fight than flight. Those spear-like horns point backwards, defend attacking predators that may try to jump on their backs. Giraffes are mostly eating. That's pretty much what they do all day. They eat up to 20 hours out of their day, while they only need a total of 30 minutes of sleep each and every day, which they will get from little power naps, usually around 30 seconds to 5 minutes at a time, really whenever it's most convenient for them, and standing up with their eyes wide open to trick predators into thinking that they're awake and alert. Sometimes they even continue to chew their food, even when they're sleeping. We have some wildebeest up here. Wildebeest will migrate in herds with up to 1.5 million of them, and they run up to about 50 miles per hour. So they face a big challenge of trying to avoid running right into each other if they have to run away from something. So they create strategies, especially for sleeping, where they line up in rows and they face different directions. They're born at about 300 pounds after a 22-month pregnancy. There are some mandrills in the area to the left, which are the largest of the monkeys. There's some on the racks and the palm trees. The males can get up to about 100 pounds and have a bright red and blue coloring. They are just like Rafiki. So we're going to keep on going further into elephant country. I believe that we just have the one back there in this area, which would mean that he's a male. They like to travel by themselves sometimes. They are a matriarchal society, so females are in charge, and the females kick the males out of their herds once they reach maturity of about 13 to 15 years old. Males will travel alone, or they will band together and create their own herds, which are called bachelor herds. So we'll pass through the red clay pits next. That would be a good place to look for more elephants. They love to eat red clay. It's like taking a vitamin for them. It's really good for them. Although aside from red clay, they have to eat about 300 pounds of vegetation every day. We're going to pass through those red clay pits. Looks like there's some test marks and footprints in the clay, so we could be getting close to some more. I see at least one more. Actually, two more. Out here at Disney, we have our very own conservation research team. They can hang out here, observe these animals, and try to find new ways to help them out in the wilds. We've learned from these elephants that they don't like bees. They can hear the buzzing over a mile away and they stay away from it. But we have been able to use that information to solve a conflict in Kenya. Their backs to act as a natural sunscreen or bug repellent. Looks like we have a flamboyance of greater flamingos, the lightest and the tallest. It takes about 2 years for them to get their pink coloring after a diet of brine shrimp, which contains beta-carotene. And there's a few different theories to why they might stand on one leg, but it's believed to help regulate body temperature. Kind of like sticking one leg outside of the covers at night to cool yourself off. Flamingos just put one leg up. He just turned a year old, actually. So white rhinos get up to about 5,000 pounds, and they are very social. So they love to hang out in their crashes. They actually do this thing called pair bonding. They pick another rhino in their crash to bond the most with and do everything together, like a best friend. There is a cheetah up on the hill to the left. The fastest land mammal. They can run up to 70 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. They only run for about 30 seconds at a time, though they are not long distance runners. They are diurnal, and lions are up on top of the kopis. They like to use kopi rocks as an advantage point because they are the tallest point on the Savannah, so these large rock formations. Lions will sleep and relax about 18 to 20 hours out of their day. They're active for about 4 to 6 hours at night. When they wake up, the males will stay back with the cubs, and the females do about 90% of the hunting. We'll go around to the other side. We might be able to see his face.